This is what I'm talking about. You might be fine with Donald Trump militarizing the streets of Washington, D.C. You might think it's okay because, well, we must. He's finally doing something. But at some point, the power will be handed to the other side, the Democrats, and probably to somebody you're really freaking afraid of. To be honest with you, somebody like AOC or Zohran Mamdani, who has proven to be the future of the Democratic Party. They were once, at one point, afraid of him. They were working against him, but now they have actually embraced him. You see here, he has now made the cover of Time magazine. He is being taken seriously. He's likely to be the mayor of New York City. He's winning by quite a lot. I believe he's at 44%. Andrew Cuomo is maybe at 20-something percent. Eric Adams, the current mayor, is at 7%. So people aren't really thrilled with Eric Adams, that's for sure, and certainly not Andrew Cuomo either. And it looks like Mamdani's going to end up being the next mayor of New York. And that means that Democrats have now started to embrace him. They realize this is the future of the party. This is what we need to do. They've panicked over him. They worried, but then Obama gave him a call. And Obama says to him, from the New York Times reporting that he just wanted to listen to him, wanted to hear him out, wanted to give him some advice. And the Democrats have realized that here's somebody who's got a lot of energy around him. A lot of people are really interested in his ideas. They really like him. And perhaps this is the future. We'll see how long it lasts because, of course, the Democratic establishment is going to try to, infiltrate him and get him to do what he wants, do what they want. But we'll see if he can be infiltrated. I mean, AOC certainly was able to, so I'm sure they're pretty confident in their abilities to get to him. But here is Mamdani with Elizabeth Warren. So again, if you're afraid, you should be afraid is basically what I'm trying to tell you. Now, I'm not necessarily against Mamdani. I don't know enough about him to really have an opinion on him either way. I do have an opinion on AOC. She frightens me. She scares me. I do think that she's the future of the party for sure. And Mamdani as well. And people like them. And here's Elizabeth Warren with Mamdani, and this is what's happening in the Democratic Party.
I was trying to hold in a cough and I started crying.
Oh, I thought you were just being tender. I feel the same. What? I bring this out in people. I really do. It's fine.
Get some water.
So people like Zohran Mamdani because he's real. He seems like a real person. He doesn't put on a facade. He's got that, in a lot of ways, a Donald Trump-esque way about him because he's just real and he's just telling you what he thinks and he's not filtering it or hiding under this politician, polish. But there he is with Elizabeth Warren, and this is the future of the Democratic Party. And my point in showing this to you is to get it across that championing tools that are being handed to this administration and thinking, my point is to get you to understand this will be used by the other side, and you don't like the other side. So if you don't like the other side, then you should be worried about the tools that Donald Trump creates and puts them in the toolkit, because that toolkit stays behind even after Donald Trump is long gone. Here's Zohran Mamdani. It's not all roses for him in New York. Of course, there's a lot of people that in the Jewish population or people who are Zionists that are totally against him. Here he is being heckled.
Use the communists. Sorry, I want something to eat. I would like something to eat. Let me tell you something, man. You are not welcome in this island. October 7th, Jew hater. You Jew hater. Hey, Mr. Mamdani, can I talk to you? This is my island.
No, it's not.
You're not welcome here. Excuse me. Excuse me.
You hate Jews!
You hate this country? You hate this big shot full of Tom Holman? Don't put him home!
How many of you think this was staged by Andrew Cuomo? Andrew Cuomo putting his people there, yell at him, tell him he hates Jews, make sure that everybody knows he's anti-Israel and genocide, because that's not the way where the establishment is supposed to be. The deep state is pro-Israel. The deep state is pro-genocide. The deep state is pro-endless wars in the Middle East, and this guy isn't. So make sure you get your guys out there, yell at him, and film it so we could spread it all over social media and say, see, Mamdani's not actually that he's not actually that popular, but he actually is. Andrew Cuomo is struggling. In fact, Mamdani did this kind of funny video about Andrew Cuomo. I don't know if it was really necessary because he's just trouncing him in the polls and he's just going to win. And it's like, you can just win on ideas. You don't actually need to go after your opponent. But it is a funny video nonetheless. So watch this.
4 years ago, Andrew Cuomo resigned in disgrace. And you probably know why.
The governor's office kept the nursing home death data secret.
Cuomo aggressively groped an aide.
Inappropriately touched a female state trooper.
Use of state resources for a COVID-19 memoir.
Less well known is what he spent the last 4 years doing, besides getting trounced in the Democratic primary. In 2022, Cuomo started Innovation Strategies LLC to represent individuals and corporations in a variety of matters. Definitely not vague. Last year, it raked in more than $500,000. Who paid for Cuomo's services? He refuses to say. But what journalists have been able to piece together is troubling. In April, Bloomberg revealed that Cuomo advised a cryptocurrency exchange based in the Seychelles as it faced federal investigations. Then in May, Politico reported that Cuomo failed to disclose $2.6 million in stock options to the New York City Conflicts of Interest Board. His excuse? The stocks were technically owned by Innovation Strategies LLC, of which he's the sole proprietor. Finally, in June, the New York Times uncovered that Cuomo had worked with his longtime friend Andrew Farkas on a luxury marina project in Puerto Rico. Farkas' previous partner on luxury marinas in the Caribbean, Jeffrey Epstein.
We had a finance chair like none other, Andrew Farkas.
That's the thing about Andrew Cuomo. Once
Who's
you think
surprised?
you found out about all of his scandals, you find out about another, and then another, and then probably another. But if my friend, the disgraced former governor of the state of New York, feels that's unfair, Habibi, release your client.
Habibi, release your client list. Habibi is it's an Arabic term of endearment. And by the way, Zohran Mamdani is not Arabic. He's Indian. He's of Indian descent. I believe he was born in Uganda. So he can't be president of the United States. It's not like he's going to rise to that level, but he certainly could rise. He could become governor of New York. He could become a senator. He could. How far up can he go actually without having? Can he? If he's a member of the House, like for example, if he becomes a rep and they want to could they make him Speaker of the House? Because that's actually in direct line of the presidency. Could he serve in the cabinet? Because that's also in the direct line of the presidency. I actually don't know the answer to that. If you can be foreign born and be in the direct line for the presidency, I think you probably could. There's people out there that actually question whether or not it's not actually totally set in stone, and there's questions in the courts on whether or not a foreign-born national could actually become president of the United States. There's actually a bit of debate on that, but we haven't solved that. And at this juncture, the understanding is you have to be an American-born or born on an American base or to an American, as a diplomat or something. So anyway, so he says, Habibi, release the files, which is a Arabic term of endearment. It's like saying dear, or my dear, release the files. I got to say, though, I like his personality. Again, I don't really know his policies that much. I haven't been following him too terribly much. I'm interested to hear him out. I don't judge based on, I like to just take each person individually and hear them out and see, what are their ideas. And I don't think that one size fits all. In some cities you might need a hyper Republican government. And in some cities you might need more of a socialism style government. I mean, I'm not one that just thinks one size fits every scenario. And that's just the way that should be. I think we should take everything by case basis. I don't know how this is going to shake out for New York City. It could end up being a lot better. I know New York is becoming, for a lot of people, a hub of just wealthy people. And anybody else, the workers, have had to basically hightail it out and live somewhere else. So, maybe it's time to bring the workers back. I mean, otherwise it kind of turns into this two-class tier system where your workers are having to commute in 2 hours in order to get the job. And, the wealthy just kind of hang around. And that doesn't really work in a society. And that is not, that's just as bad as, it leads to crime and all kinds of other problems and revolutions, quite frankly. So if you want to avoid a revolution, then you've got to do something for the working class. And Mamdani represents that, and people like him. And the guy's probably going to be the next mayor of New York. And this is the future of the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party is now seemingly starting to actually embrace this. And again, if you don't like the tools to be handed to the other side, then don't create the tools in the first place. Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. It is free for you to watch. Again, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, KimIversonShow.com. See you there.